Okay, I mean, I would love to have take up some questions on hierarchy and the regulatorily the aspects, but maybe that's sort of another conversation. But let's see first what our expert panel in the cage, if you have any insights or feedback.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that I see between the two of you as a common thread is communication. And why is this such a revolutionary idea in the medical space? It seems the oldest trade. So why is this just coming up now? Why is it such a fantastic tool?
The question is why communication, because the lack of communication?
Yeah, why have we built a medical system where communication is not ingrained, and why do we need brilliant women like the two of you to get people talking about innovation and get the engagement and communication going?
It's quite a general question.
Yeah, no, I think I think one of the main things is that somebody said today that it's tradition, 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 right? So this is the founder of the system. We're not going to ask about, that's the whole point of this seminar, to really start asking questions about all those established truths. From an entrepreneurial perspective, that's what our everyday is about. How can this be done differently? How can we make money off of this? How can we actually make a change? And moving into healthcare, if I compare it from food and wine industry, it's like walking into a wall every day. So I think what you need is very much stamina, but you also need to ask in a different and more effective way together with a lot more people. And you need to communicate. One of my favorite pictures is this networking picture where you've got one bowl of fish over here and you've got one bowl of fish over there, and then one fish jumps into the other bowl, and you can sort of figure out that, okay, maybe, well, it's goldfish, so they might not be talking about much, but the whole point being that they're exchanging ideas from one community to the other. And I think anything like this, a platform like this, is what's needed. It's only 3 years old, right, Digital Health Days. More platforms like this, where all the different industries and all the patients, everyone talks to each other. That's where we need the sharing to be going on. And once we get the interest from venture capital and or pharma, or where they can see that it's lucrative, we're going to get more things happening. That's one of the biggest challenges today, I think. There's too little communication.
Yeah, and apart from communication, the whole sort of regulatory aspect, that's also one of the
I think I was just going to build on
signs.
Well, I mean, sharing recipes, it's not a lot of regulatory around that. People love doing that. People are sharing recipes all the time. But the regulatory aspect needs to be questioned as well. Banking has done this. Banking is also heavily, heavily regulated. People are adding their accounts all over the place, and we're swishing money over there and here. It's not about that. I think that's where we need to really start questioning things.
Yeah, I think that there's something here about being both risk averse and also about who's to blame. So I think there's a lot of liability issues that are just now surfacing. Yeah. So we haven't really figured out who's to blame if, for example, a patient takes the path that they felt was right for them but was clearly not. I mean, again, people can easily kill themselves if they're given the chance to. And they do already. But I think that the challenge we have is that there's been, because of this liability issue, really, we've created the barriers for those who are most active and engaged, or created barriers for even those that are most active and engaged. And so we aren't giving ourselves a chance to learn about how we can actually create real communication and solid tools that support patients and HCPs in interesting ways. I think that, as you're pointing out, there's lots happening in this space, but it's not till we figure that out that I think we'll start seeing at least studies about this.
So trying to round it up on a positive note, where do you foresee the industry in, let's say, I mean, 5 years isn't that long, but out of an
we're all going downhill
entrepreneurial perspective?
No, you need to be very positive about this, because there's so many opportunities. Whenever anything looks impossible, all that means is, wow, there must be so many opportunities here. And I think within regulatory, for instance, liability is sure.
Yeah.
But instead of, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, the differences between Europe and the States, for instance, where liabilities is obviously
big deal. Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities in Europe, for instance, where this is still not as big an issue. What can we do here and move ahead effectively? So I think so many opportunities.
And hopefully, like you say, Digital Health Days is about being a platform for communication and networking. So hopefully during these 2 days, maybe there will also be communications among all of you here, or a selection of yourselves talking about this and highlighting the pros and cons, the challenges and the advantages. Do you have any more questions or insights that you'd like to share?
In fact, I want just to say that I strongly agree with you about increase the motivation for the patient, because when you say about like the pills as the driver, or take it or leave it, it's exactly, I feel that maybe I can just explain one of my experience, that one day I bought activity tracker to monitor my child. As I mentioned, he's Down syndrome, and I found that it's not motivate him to use it. And when I contact the company to tell him that is there possibility to add something, because this is not motivate him to wear it, or it's not motivate him to move more, or and say, we are sorry, this is for healthy people, not for patient or for handicap. Then at that moment I shocked. So I totally agreed with you about engage the patient.
And I think it's one of the fact that you are willing to put that time and energy and the courage into actually trying to figure out ways to improve that, or engage with that company, and that is hard, is actually the biggest problem we have in healthcare. We're making it hard for people who care and want to do stuff to make a change in their life.
And once again, also the necessity and initiative for communication, sort of full circle. Okay, any more insights, feedback?
I just wanted to ask about patient adherence and age. So I have a problem is that my mom has diabetes, and it's practically impossible to get her to take her insulin or the right dose on time. So I was wondering if you have any insights on that.
Well, my feeling is that the real challenge we have is, again, that all solutions are built for one type of person. And I would say, even though I am 100% behind patients who are motivated to create their own products, they also tend to be the motivated type who create products. So they're products for motivated people, and I think that we have a challenge as an industry to think a bit more broadly about what we mean by patient or HCP or doctor, because our doctors are not the same type of people either. So I think that there is I think what is helpful is that you understand that there is a difference between the way your mother wants to be engaged in her health, and trying to create workarounds that help you to get there is the right approach, because I don't think that the current healthcare system will help you do that.
Well, thank you so much for your valuable insights and for the work you do, Anna and Laura. And the best of luck with your little baby in 2 months. And a big round of applause.
Thank you.